Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, one half a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us.
Hell yeah.
They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second.
Hey everybody. Alright, just to go over everything, even with you, Martin. Why do I do this? I have had a cousin that committed suicide, and I think if he would have had somebody, I think, talking in his ear, and I notice a lot of people I work with, a lot of young guys, they just don't have a clue. Because a lot of people are raised nowadays without parents, without life coaches, so to speak. And so what I do is, just as we get older, I learn from a lot of smart people, including you, Martin. I just kind of grabbed whatever bit of information that helped me from whomever I could. And that helped me to, like I always say, not be a better person, but just be better off. And I've always considered you a life coach. I think you've heard me ask you enough questions to where, indirectly you could probably piece that together. And I always joke around about, let's talk about, working out and stuff like that. But, because you happen to be a personal trainer. But I remember we were at, it was Laughlin one time, and I remember my sister was arguing with her husband, and like we all do, and I asked you, I don't know if you remember this, but I go, what is your opinion? What's your take on what's going on? And it's almost irrelevant what you said. You probably don't even remember, but the fact that I asked you means that, I put a lot of weight on your opinion. Jokingly, I came over to where you're at, and I'm like, yeah, let's talk about exercising. And of course, there's other things to talk about, like you mentioned, biblical topics and this, that, and the other. And I think, like what I noticed when I'm talking to young people is they pretty much, whatever they hear on the radio, on the news, with their friends and music, that's it. But there's not a lot of wisdom. And my purpose is, because whatever we say, it's stuck in the Ethernet. It'll be there for, if we categorize it correctly, and a lot of it's automatic, there's going to be people looking for wisdom. They're going to be typing in, hey, what do I do about this? What do I do about that? And, I have a company that I work for too. We're going to push this and, throw some commercials on there and, hopefully sell some stuff when it's all said and done. But in the meantime, I think, why not, talk to people that have been there and done that. So, I always talk about happiness, and I think one thing that you need to do to be happy is to be in shape. But, okay, so who cares if you're in the greatest shape in the world if you're worried about your soul or your happiness, and other things? So it's kind of an open forum, and my question would be to you is okay, so somebody wants to be happy, because ultimately that's why we're working out, right? In your opinion, Martin. So let's say somebody is unhappy. Should they work on their soul? Should they work on their body? What if you were an unhappy person? I mean, let's say there's a younger person out there that's just unhappy. What would be your first step?
Well, the first step would be to make them feel good about themselves. That could be spiritually and or physically. And I guess for myself and for anyone that I train, I want them to feel more confident about themselves, because most people do not feel confident about themselves. So what I try and do is find the positives in anybody and everybody, because everybody's got something that they're gifted at physically, and you work on that, and then it transforms into the rest of the body. So you want them to have confidence, so when they look in the mirror, at least they feel, if they start working out and exercising and trying to eat decent, they will have a different perception of themselves. So when they talk to someone, or if they're in a position to be a leader, because you will be judged. We do judge people by their looks. That's the way our society is.
Well, maybe you do, but not me. Speak for yourself.
But we will just look at them and study them, and when you're being looked at, the last thing you want is insecurity.
Well, like I used to be in Taekwondo, and on the wall it said real big, it's all, in confidence there's victory, without confidence there's nothing. So I'm wondering, do you think that's nature versus nurture? Do you think you could be, like, some people are just inherently more confident, or is that something that somebody can build?
Well, first of all, we're all raised under different circumstances. Me coming from a large family, I didn't get much attention, whereas if you're the only child, you're going to get a lot of attention. So you'll be exposed. If you really are gifted, if you're the only child, then you will probably be showcased, and you will have a lot of confidence because you're the only one receiving it. But if you're at one amongst many, even if you are good at something, you may not even get noticed. But eventually, as you grow older and separate yourself from your siblings and stuff, you will be exposed for, if you're bad at something, it'll show. But I guess, again, for myself, being one of the youngest in a family of 7, I had no self-confidence, and everything, all responsibility was never given to me, because I was told, you're too young, let your older siblings take care of the problem. It's
weird, because I always feel like if you look at anybody, and it's almost like we're adult children. It's like we are what we were as kids, just as adults, because you tend to look at some of these professionals as, oh, these people are established and they're blah. But a lot of us, we're developed by the time we're 10 years old, and now we're just adult 10-year-olds, So I think in some cases, if at a child, if you this is what I was when I see certain people, I just think of, yours is still a child through and through, but it's almost like, okay, if you're 10 years old or whatever the age is, you just need to spend the rest of your life working out your problems, if you have hang-ups, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think like with me, it's I've always tried to exercise, to be healthy, and I'm sure it has to do with something happened on a schoolyard somewhere, or a girl paid attention to another kid that was more muscular, or sports, or because I didn't do any organized sports in high school. So I wonder if the reason I work out now is to make up for that, to fill that void. And I don't think that's a bad thing, because look at the people that are totally confident. I think those people sit on a couch and don't ever work out. You know what I mean? So I think it's good to have a little bit of I don't want to say hang up, because that's a strong word, but if somebody has a little bit of, okay, this is why I'm being pushed, that's not always a bad thing too. You know what I mean? Because that could push them to the next level. Yeah.
Okay, I think as far as, we're talking about the importance of working out, exercising, the importance of taking care of yourself. A lot of people just don't see that importance. They think it's not all that important. And when you're young, you can get away with maybe not exercising because you might have some good genetics and you'll be okay without it. But eventually, as you grow older, you will realize that we're all terminal, and we will all grow old, and we will all wear down. But in this day and age, we have so many things to help us, to reach our goals. The equipment, the supplements, you go to say GNC even, and you have all the stuff you need to arm yourself with the right equipment, the right vitamins and stuff to pursue your goals, which was not possible 30, 40 years ago when we're limited to what we could get. But anyway, so that being said,
but I got a question on
okay.
Thinking of that is because I used to do everything, just soup to nuts. You do the creatine, you do the protein, and then the glutamine, and then you're on a tighter budget, so you cut it out or you don't have time. How much of that do you think is just marketing versus effectiveness as far as the supplements goes? I'm not talking about the stimulants, not the caffeine
right.
whatever that gets you souped
Yeah.
up like a demon Hellcat ready to go down the drag strip. But just as far as like all the amino acids and this, that, and the other, I think a lot of it is just like a little bit of a boost. Or
okay. In my opinion, and I've done this for a long time, supplements, and when we talk about supplements, I'm talking about going past your basic protein, vitamins. But when you start going to say glutamine, creatine, and then you have other products that stimulants and stuff, those get you, in my opinion, I found no more, and I can be pretty close in this one, 7 to 10%. That's all it's going to give you, and the rest is a placebo. But and I would say this too for young kids who first start going to the gym, and their friends say, "Yeah, you got to try this new product, this new creatine or whatever." And I'd say, just forget those kind of supplements until you really know what you're doing, until your body is ready for it, because your body's not ready for some of this. I call it miracle grow, supplements where it's going to really help you. I think you have to build a work ethic, and do it the best you can, and then once you start peaking. Once you start like almost plateauing.
That was my favorite Chinese restaurant, by the way. Peking.
So, and then you say, okay, I need something. If you're bench pressing 275, I want to bench press 300. That creatine will probably push you to that 300, but it's not going to be, anything more than that. Just can be a little bit. So that's the truth of it.
Yeah, I always felt like that. A lot of it is your habits. You get in the habit of, okay, you're doing your creatine before or whatever before, and then if you didn't do it, you just feel like it just takes you a notch back, and it's hard enough to work out as it is, and now you're dealing with the mental part of it. Right. Oh, I don't have my supplements, but then it's like lately I haven't bought any supplements, so now it's a non sequitur. If I have time to work out, I'm going to work out, and you don't even think about the supplements, and now it's just, can I work out?
Well, I guess going back to the subject about working out and what what does it do for you? I think the biggest thing is influence, and if you have no influence, by that I mean if you have no friends that are into it, you don't read magazines, and you're on your own, it's pretty difficult to get to a high level because you need to be motivated. So if you surround yourself with a friend or friends that are interested in working out or trying to go to a different level than their friends are, because especially when you're young kids, like say young teenagers, they're so insecure. Going to the gym and getting muscles and everything, that's a great